If you're a med spa owner dealing with patients coming into the clinic and saying, "Whoa, I didn't know the price would be that expensive," it's probably stopping you from making a ton of money. So, what I want to do is share with you guys a video that I pulled from one of my private coaching calls where I was coaching about 5 to 7 med spa owners, and we were going over how to financially qualify patients on the phone so that they come in more price aware, increasing your close rate and possibly your average sale value on your consultations. More of a high level topic. This is usually only for our private community, but going to give it out for free in the industry so that you guys can get a little bit of insights on the type of conversations that we're having to scale multiple med spas to 100 grand per year through our sales, marketing, coaching, and technology over at MediLaunch. So without further ado, let's jump into the coaching call. How to financially qualify patients before they come to the clinic. I want to give a little bit of context here. This would primarily be where you guys are doing maybe like, let's just say a body contouring offer that's 149, but majority of the people need an $800 package, vice versa with other services. And you're really just trying to pre-expose people to the price so that you're not getting as many price objections or you're not getting as much sticker shock in the consult. Things like M-Scope, RF microneedling, some of these bigger treatments, like this definitely applies where, yeah, you can run a low ticket offer, but you're trying to warm them up a bit more so it's not as hard of a sell. So this is kind of what this is based around. I had a med spa owner that I was working with, and she was like, how can I get people more price aware before they come? Like, we're getting them in the door. But I really just want them to be more price aware, but you don't want to obviously scare them away before you even get the chance to talk about their goals in person, right? So it's like that fine line of not scaring people away, but also setting good expectation. This script here is for the receptionist, for the setter. It kind of sounds like this, all right? And I'll talk about the framework after. So it's more like, let's say, I'll say Jessica. So Jessica, hundreds of patients come to our clinic and make insane transformations in their skin, their body, or, their confidence. It comes down to the fact that our clinic uses methods that no other med spas offer. But typically, to make those transformations happen and get the results you are looking for, it often requires an investment that can range up to, right, up to $800. And if it was 4 grand for you guys, it would be up to 4 grand. Does that sound like something you'd be comfortable investing in yourself to get the results you're looking for? Okay. Essentially, this is after you've done the entire call, before you book the appointment, you've done a really good sales call. And notice here, guys, there's a couple of things that make this frame work. A little bit of social proof, because you can't say most people pay us 4 grand, but you haven't worked with a lot of people or there's nothing really special about your service, right? If you're going to make people price aware and just throw the price up front, you need to have some leverage. The leverage is social proof, the leverage is unique mechanisms, and then the leverage is leveraging the results that they're looking to get. And what I mean by this is like, it's if someone says, "Oh, well, like, it's 149, but, it can be $800." Like, do you have that? Right? It's obviously that's very blunt, but the idea is there's nothing attached to the $800, right? There's no difference for them from 149 to $800. But if I go, we have a really cool offer for the first session being 149, but in order to make that total transformation and get the results that you're looking for so that you can feel as confident as you mentioned earlier, it can be up to $800. Is that something you're willing to invest in yourself to get those results? Right? It's very different because now we're attaching their results to that price. That's why I'm saying you must leverage the actual results. You must leverage the full transformation if you're trying to make people price aware before they come to the clinic. Because what happens when they come to the clinic is they do a consult, with the specialist, and the specialist does a really good job of making people realize that, hey, in order to look like Chris Jenner,
you're either going to need plastic surgery or you're going to need 5 grand worth of med spa treatments, right? And now they're like, ah, okay, I can see why I need 5 grand. But if you just say, hey, it's, from 149 to 5 grand on the phone, it's not the same. So the idea, guys, is, gain that leverage by past results plus attaching the results that they're looking for, right? And that's essentially what we're doing here. It's like, hey, like we've transformed hundreds of people. That's what they want. They want that transformation. It comes down to the fact that our clinic uses unique methods that no other med spas offer. The idea behind this is if you're a Botox injector or you're an esthetician and there's nothing unique between you and the girl next door, then you should probably fix that. You're in a race, you're in a money race now. You're in the who has the cheapest Botox race, right? So you must develop some type of unique mechanism, some type of unique method, which we'll talk about later, that separates you from competition. It cannot be price. Because if price is the thing that separates you from your competitors, the people will just want the cheapest price. We've transformed hundreds of patients. We use a unique method. In order to get those transformations, it obviously requires an investment that can range up to 800. Does it sound like something you'd be comfortable investing to get the results you're looking for? This script works, all right? You need to be prepared to handle the finance objection using the proper framework. Okay. The proper finance objection handling framework. The second thing is you need to keep the conversation based around the fact that we have no issue getting the results. We do that all the time. We just need to ensure we're in the same ballpark of, financially, and we're not way off. Guys, I'm not telling you to say this, right? But there's certain cues that I've noticed salespeople need in their mind in order for them to believe in the script. Right. So obviously, if we're doing a script that tells people M scope is really 4 grand, you need to have it in your mind, something that gives you the conviction, right? Something that gives you the conviction to say, hey, this is 4 grand, right? And I feel good about telling you it's 4 grand, right? Because M scope is expensive, or Morpheus 8, or whatever it is. Now, what I'm giving here is I'm giving you cues that gives your appointment setter, your receptionist, or whoever's on the phone the conviction. It's like, hey, look, we don't have any issues getting you the results you're looking for. We do it all the time. We just need to ensure we're in the same ballpark and not way off financially. If you're going to use this framework to financially qualify patients before they come to the clinic, something you guys must understand is you cannot have a bad sales call, right? Good opener, good connected question. You set the frame. You figure out what the patient needs. What do they actually need? You pin a solution to that need, which is the treatment. You overview the treatment, you overview the offer, and you pitch the consult, right? Like you can't start talking about $4,000, $800 worth of treatments before you figure out what the patient needs, right? I know this sounds obvious, guys. I know this sounds obvious, but I must say this, right? Do not say, hey, this can range up to $800 because you're just trying to weed people out, but you haven't even figured out what that patient needs, how long they've been dealing with it, and what have they tried before. Like these things come before trying to financially qualify. So if you were like, hey, where do I insert a financial qualifier? Here. It's at the end before I actually book the appointment. Because now, if you guys notice, that what we've done here is A through G allows us to build enough rapport, figure out if we can actually help the person. Can we actually help this person? Oh, yes, we can. They know how we're going to help them and they agree to that. Now it actually makes sense to talk about the opportunity of doing a bigger transformation and what that could cost. And it's not telling them to make a decision. It's like we could do that because we've already built that report here and they already know what they're in for. Right. But you can't do that, before, like I said, you can't do that too early. Right. That's the frame. That's things to consider. And it does work, right? We've been using it a lot, reviewing a lot of calls, and it's been great.
Quick side note, guys, if you are a MedSpa owner looking to scale your business to 100K per month, increase profits, or just create an asset that runs on its own that you can maybe one day sell or pass down to someone else, you should definitely click the link in our bio, join our MediLaunch program where we're helping hundreds of MedSpa owners do the exact same thing right now. I would love to see you guys on the other side.